I'm Kieran Wells, and I own Wells Pianos. Well, I've been in the piano business since 1998. You learn to do little things along the way. You know, you learn how to regulate, you learn how to tune. I suppose I first got into the restoration aspect when I started doing more institutional work in the early 2000s. We'd have to really make sure that the pianos were ready. So I got good at voicing, I got good at prep and regulation. You know, I had the opportunity to work with some really talented people who did quite a bit of work at prominent venues and at the Steinway factory and other European factories. That's how I got into it, you know. It's like, how do you get into anything, you know?
Just getting the math right is probably the most crucial thing. My name is Joel. I rebuild pretty much all the wood parts of the piano, the soundboard, pin block, bridges. What they call my job, it's kind of old name for a soundboard maker. I don't really call myself a belly man in public. Yeah, I just build soundboards and the other wooden parts of the piano. As far as being a piano itself, I don't play at all. I don't really know what people like as far as the playability or the sound even. Some are more annoying to get built than others, and some go really easy.
My name is Scott Ludden. I am a piano tuner, technician, and rebuilder. After the soundboard is put in, we put the playback in, and there's like 263 pins that need to be pounded into the wood. I take the string, I wrap it around a tuning pin, and then I pound it in to the wood block. Then I take that string and I go to the other end of the piano, and there's a little hitch pin over there that I bend the string around. So that way when I wrap the pin up and I pound them both in and pull them both up to tension, there's exactly 3 coils around the tuning pin. I do house calls as well, so I go out and tune people's pianos, and that requires that I do repairs quite often. And so my backpack weighs about 60 pounds, and it's filled with tools that you've never ever seen before. Working here at Wells under Kieran is like one of the best bosses I've ever had, and the work environment here is just incredible. It's nice and laid back and calming, and I really enjoy working here.
At least in the initial stages, I'm not really a very salesy person, but we just try to hone in on what suits people, their repertoire, their ears, all of that. I'm Jeremy Walker. I do, I guess it's sales and kind of consult with customers, and I play test the pianos a lot too. Well, I was a saxophonist and I switched to piano, but I don't know, 20 years ago. And I owned a jazz club. I worked for the Dakota. I've been commissioned by like the Schubert Club and composed for a lot of different ensembles. I try to match the piano to the customer. Every pianist is different. Some people like a heavier feeling action. Some people like a lighter action. We can change a bright piano to a dark sounding piano and all that. And we can adjust each piano to meet those, but just to kind of help them identify what they really want out of a piano. Piano's kind of alchemistic, if you want to call it that, or metaphysical. It doesn't make sense. It's something that is really a complicated machine, can be so expressive and be so individual to the player. And then also I always want to represent the work that, you know, like Joel and Ann and Scott and Kieran are doing, because I can't take credit for it, so I get to brag about it.
A lot of our customers, they don't necessarily play for a living. They're doing this, the restoration, because they care. You know, they care about the quality, or they care about the historical preservation, or you know, perhaps there's Sentimental value, we get a lot of that. Regardless of who we do the work for, it's at the same level, And a lot of people they'll say, oh, well, I'm not a professional pianist, or oh, I'm not that good, or whatever. But deep down, they really do care. They care.